Hello, good evening, and welcome to Birds of Essex and India for November
Oh,
2023. Hi, Steve, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. You made it back.
Yep, I've been back about 24 hours now.
My
Yeah,
goodness. And just before we start, if you'd like to tell people how many hours you went without sleep up until yesterday evening,
33.
and then how many
So
hours did you sleep last night?
15.
Okay. So you're fighting fit and ready to go.
Yep, I'm fighting fit. I'm incredibly tired. I've got a glass of wine keeping me company here, just to. But yeah, all good. It's nice to
It's
be back.
it's Birds of Essex. What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. As we always say, we're true professionals.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, nice to have you back.
And nice to see you too.
Haven't seen you for yonks, actually, not in the flesh
No,
anyway. So,
no,
yeah.
it's been a long time. Been a long time.
But we'll be seeing each other very soon, won't we? And we're going to cover that later on.
Exactly.
Hmm,
Bit more
excellent.
later.
Right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone who's watching. We've got lots of people watching this evening. I think people are saying hi in the chat, aren't they?
Yeah, we've got loads of people watching tonight. We've got 45, 46 people watching. So, evenings, Richard Chew. He just said, assuming that I've been found. Well, unfortunately, I have been found. Ray Watson's watching from across the border in Suffolk.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
how do I get rid of Ray Watson? Hang on a minute. I'm joking. Hello, Ray. Hi.
yeah, Richard said we don't mind people from the other side as well. So,
Exactly. Yeah, from the dark side.
no offense, Ray. No offense, mate. Mo Jackson's hi, everyone. Pete Dwyer, Tony Pickett, Tim Hayward, Emma Robinson. Yeah, Tim Davis, Paul Daughtry, loads of people watching tonight.
Lovely. Well, thank you all for tuning in as always. I'm just going to quickly share the old contact screen, which I think everyone's probably familiar with by now. So if you want to ask any questions, obviously, or banter or anything at all, you're all in the chat anyway, hopefully logged into your YouTube account via your Gmail account. But if you're not and you want to say something, please send us an email to ebwstalks@gmail.com. So that's ebwstalks@gmail.com. And we'll try and monitor the emails as the show is progressing. But we'll say in advance if we do miss anything on the chat or in the emails, apologies, but we'll try and get everything if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, please click on the screen. You'll see a little bell symbol. Subscribe to our channel. The numbers are going up slowly. And if you like what you see, thumbs up. Or if you don't like what you see, thumbs down.
No, don't do thumbs down.
I can't imagine anyone would do thumbs down.
Of course not. Why would they want to do thumbs down? Right. So what's coming up on the show?
Well, I'm just reading the run notes. Told you we're true professionals.
Well, first thing we're gonna find out is, has anyone seen one of these yet? Hang on a minute. Can you see that?
See a map?
You can see a map, right? So it's not has anyone seen a map, because obviously there is one, but the map refers to the sightings of these lovely little chaps. So the rumor is that there is going to be an eruption of waxwings into the UK, which I'm extremely excited about, because there hasn't been one for about 10 years or more, I don't think. Is that correct?
Been quite a long time, to be fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
eight,
time
10
does
years.
fly, but yeah.
Yeah. So certainly before I was birding. So hopefully if we get a really good number, in fact, there we go. The popular species hasn't erupted into Britain since 2016-17. And even then, big flocks were largely restricted to Northern England and Scotland. So hopefully we might get lots of these in Essex. I know that one has been seen at least in Essex so far. I don't know about any more than that. And
Actually, there was one today.
oh, was there one today? I didn't see that.
I think there was one at Gunners Park today. Vaguely remember reading somewhere.
Fabulous. But these are sightings in the UK since the 1st of October. So as you can see, they're kind of hopefully slowly making their way down. And I mean, what causes them to come over to the UK numbers? Is it lack of food up in Scandinavia, or what happens?
Yeah, they basically just eat Scandinavia out of house and home, and that's what happened now. The numbers you'll see on that map are all in the northern half of the country, and they'll just filter their way down. Once they've eaten all the berries in Scotland and Yorkshire and places, then we should, fingers crossed, get them. I can't believe it's that long since the last invasion.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I've been birding since about 2016-17, and I've seen 3 waxings in Essex, and they're all at the same time. round the corner from me, and that was a few years ago now.
Mm.
So there haven't been anything in good numbers, definitely not odd ones and twos, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be nice. And for people that aren't aware of waxwings, so you're looking out for, well, supermarket car parks are good to look in, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because they plant these like ornamental berry trees, contoniasters and rowans, and that's what they love. You know, I mean, Annette's planted. We've got some rowans in the front garden specifically for waxwings. So
You never know. That'd be
who
good.
knows? Who knows?
Next month's show, it could be birds of Steve's garden, I reckon.
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
And they're about the size of a starling, aren't they?
Yep, with a nice little punky
Yep.
crest.
And they sound a bit like this. I don't. Is that working?
No.
Oh, really? Hang on a minute. Try again.
Nothing at
Oh,
all.
okay. All right. Well, it's like a high pitch.
They make a trilly noise.
Yeah, high pitched trill. I can't do it, but it's a really high pitched trill. So look out and listen out for waxwings. Also, we're going to be covering where you've been for the last couple of years, it seems like, and what you've seen, and also what you've missed. There's been some good bird
really?
that you've missed out on.
Have I missed stuff?
You've missed a couple of things, yeah.
Okay.
You've got a bit of catching up to do.
I have. Story of my life.
Yeah. We're also going to be having a special guest on very shortly, talking about ringed birds and how to report them and birds that he's seen, including a particularly special one that he's seen quite recently, which is quite interesting. And we're going to be doing the usual roundup of sightings, field trips, pop-ups, indoor meetings, pop-ups coming, photo competition final, and other things too. So yes, lots to be getting on with. Right, photo competition. So if people want to vote in the photo competition, there are 4 finalists, which I will show you now. The 4 finalists are Kingfisher.
Wow, okay. Nice.
Diving, rather a nice photo. Well, they're all nice photos, to be fair. This one's a little goldcrest on a branch with a beautiful blurred background. Then we have a little adult little grebe with a tiny, tiny little chick. I mean, we all know how big little grebes are, and that chick must be about the size of a pea. It's crazy. And then finally, a couple of great white egrets. I don't really know what they're doing. Do you reckon they're dancing, chasing each other? I'm not sure.
Yeah, territorial thing, I reckon.
Do you reckon maybe it's a sunny day and they're just thinking, let's go for a quick run in the sun? I don't know.
Strictly come egrets.
So those are the 4 finalists, and you can vote for your favourite still, because the voting stops in about 20 minutes. So if you haven't done so already, if you visit the EBS website, ebws.org.uk, and then on the home screen, I'm just going to bring it up quickly now. Hold on. There we go. Right. Can you see our home screen?
Yep, sure can.
Lovely. So down the bottom here, it kind of scrolls through, but if I scroll back, hold on. It starts on this screen here. If you click this right-hand box here, vote now, you can see the entries in a bigger format. And when you've chosen your favourite, you can click on the link up here and go through to a voting screen. I won't do it because the voting results have all been kept private this time round for the final. And if I click on it, you'll see what they are. So I'm not going to do that. But yeah, please vote. We also had some kind of notable entries, didn't we, that I wanted to share with people before we
lots
continue.
of entries again this season, so that was really good.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for everyone that sent them in. So the first one, I think Steve's going to expertly talk you through these. Hang on a minute.
If Steve can see them.
Right. That one. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, this is brilliant. This is. So yeah, this blue tit by James Balker. Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably the first or the second one.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of
nest box one, didn't we? The nest box.
We did, but I think this was the very first sort of table camera entry that we've had.
Do you know what? The quality of this is amazing.
Yeah. And I think it's really, really good. I mean, you know, you've got first of all, I'd like to commend James for his fabulous mix of food there. That looks quite delicious, to be fair. I was tempted to go and grab a bowl of sugar and some milk and a spoon and tuck in myself. But yeah, he's certainly looking after the birds in his garden there. And yeah, this little blue tit has sort of grabbed a little lump of suet and cheekily about to fly off, isn't it?
Right, and then also it's from a different angle. You don't need expensive camera equipment to get a good photo. You know, it's And it's
Definitely.
different. It's just showing like the bird's behaviour and stuff, which is brilliant.
And I'm assuming that's like a motion activated camera, I would have thought. I don't know if James is watching, but I would imagine that's motion camera.
I would say so. And amazing. You've got the quality in the wing. You see like the
Yeah.
feathers in the wing.
Yep. So I really like that. Thank you. Next one.
Oh, cracking. So this little egret, I mean, we were discussing this earlier, weren't we? That you can see right through the bird's wings.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the structure of the bones.
It's literally, I think this you can always see the bird's thumb. I don't know what the name is for the bone, the spur that comes off.
Well,
here,
the feather's the allula, isn't it? So I don't know. It may have a sort of name.
Yeah. But I mean, the birds have kind of literally got a hand in there, haven't they?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's brilliant. It's so nice to see it like backlit. You know, it's a.
I don't think I've ever seen a photo quite like that. So that was a great one. And then the final one, I thought this was a real cracking little picture. Again, none of these made the voting stages, unfortunately, but we thought we'd show them because they're a bit different. This one.
Yeah, this Moorhen by James Sargent. Yeah, I mean, I think you said we had to do a double take to see where the bird was.
And then I had to work out what it was.
Well, yeah, okay.
But yeah, really.
It's so cryptically camouflaged there.
Exactly. And I think that's the kind of photo that I think if that was my photo, that would be in a frame on my wall. I think it's a really interesting photo, and you've got some lovely colour in there as well. So yes. Fabulous. So thank you again to everyone that sent them in. We did have half a dozen late entries. Two people sent in 3 photos as late entries. Unfortunately, they didn't make the competition, but we will show them later on. So yeah, we do have to kind of stick to the cutoff because there's a lot of preparation that goes on behind the scenes with getting the competition up and running, and all that's done beforehand. So yeah, right.
A few more people watching. Ron Furman's watching. Stanley Davis is watching from North Wales.
Oh, hi Stanley.
Evening, Stanley. Mo Jackson, Katie Goodchild, who's a new member. So good evening, Katie. How you doing?
Yep. Hiya.
Paul Everett. So yeah, everyone. And no thumbs down yet. So.
Oh, good. I'm surprised Paul's not outside looking for badgers with his new thermal imaging device. Maybe he is. Maybe he's got one eye on the screen and the other eye out the window. I don't know.
Out the window.
Yeah. So bit of an announcement first of all. Nothing too serious, but from the 8th of January, anyone who wants to go to RSPB Rainham Marshes, if you're not an RSPB member or you don't have a blue badge, they are going to be charging for parking. So they're going to be doing £1 if you're staying for an hour, £2 for 2 hours, or £5 if you want to stay for the whole day.
Yes.
I think large vehicles and coaches and so forth are going to be a standard flat rate of £15. And I did contact the RSPB today, and they very kindly came back to me quite quickly just to confirm that if you are an RSPB member and you want to have your free parking from the 8th of January, just make sure your member's card is on display on your dashboard. That's all you have to do. Okay. If you've lost your member's card, I'm sure if you speak to them in the centre, they'll be able to help you out and let you put something in the car. Yep. So that's that. Just bear that in mind. Right. What are we doing next?
Well, we've done feedback. So we've got watching. So Nick Lay's watching tonight. Graham, me, and so loads of people watching, which is fabulous.
Excellent. We've got a bit of an appeal, haven't we? Next,
we have got an appeal. Yes, we have. Yep. So we're looking at the society are looking for a new indoor meeting secretary. So Sue Watts, who has been our existing indoor meeting secretary, is now, I don't know what she's doing, transferring, I suppose you would say. She's now our treasurer, due to Tony Gale's standing down. So we're looking for a new indoor meeting secretary, to help organise our wonderful array of meetings that we hold in the winter. I think we hold them from September till April or something like that, isn't it? I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yes.
And some are in the hall in Chelmsford, and some will be on Zoom. So I don't know if you've got any more details there, Matt.
I haven't, to be fair. I mean, other than if you are interested, if you think you can fill that position, and you will get full support of the committee. We've got a large committee. We all work really well together. We've got plenty of places that you'll be able to source speakers from, whether it be online or in-person speakers. and just send us an email, info.ebws@gmail.com. So info, info @ebws, sorry, .ebws@gmail.com. Please just drop us a line, say you're interested in the position, and I'll reply and let you have further details, and we'll take it from there. But it would be really, really good if someone is interested and can step up and help us out, and have the pleasure of booking all the talks for the next year or so. So yeah, that'd be really good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So yeah, please, get in touch with us.
Right.
What else have we got? So yeah, so you've been. It's a bit to with ringing. First part of ringing, really, isn't it? You've had a couple of
Yeah, shall we talk about a bit of nasals, shall we?
nasals, yes.
Yeah, a bit of nasals.
Nasals.
Let's do some nasaling. Right, here we go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So this was on the 8th of November, and I pulled into Ardea Reservoir on my way through to work and got out of the car and scanning the water as usual. And I noticed this tufted duck, female tufted duck, with a big blue thing on its beak. And I've only ever seen this once before, and it's called a nasal saddle, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I mean, I don't like it, to be honest. I'll be really honest with you.
It's weird. And
yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean, I presume it's not a great quality picture because it was a grey, murky day and it's a bit of a distance away. But I presume, I don't know how they're attached.
no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's a bit more than glue, I think. But
yeah. But this is the way that they mark wildfowl, or some of the wildfowl on the continent, I think, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's very much a continental thing. We don't do it here in the UK.
And I kind of get it, because most of the time wildfowl is on the water, and obviously if it's on the water, you can't see legs. So it's a good way of being able to record and report these birds. And so I duly reported the bird, and I was sent back this, which the bird was ringed in France. I presume Saint-Suzanne. I think this is sort of southern France. It's around about 270 miles away, I think, as the tufty flies from Ardea Reservoir. And it was ringed on the 29th of June this year. So you can see that's my sighting there. And I think I'm the first person to report it. So they slapped that on it, and it's decided it doesn't want to stay around there when they're putting things on its beak. So it's come across to Ardea Reservoir.
Exactly. What more does it want? What more does it want for a winter holiday?
Well, absolutely. So that's the first one. And has anyone seen nasal saddle birds? And if they have, did you report them? Where were they from? And what do you think of nasal saddle birds? It'd be interesting to get a bit of feedback.
I remember.
Well, we've also been sent in from Mo Jackson. She sent in a picture here. Now, this picture was taken by Robert Branner. And she said, we thought we might like some news of the ringed great white egret seen at Abberton recently. That's also been seen by others in recent years. So you can see it's PA34.
That's right. Yep.
Is this the bird you've seen?
That's
before?
The bird that I first reported. Yeah, all those like 3 years ago.
Okay.
First time it had been seen in Britain, I think. So yeah. And it keeps coming back.
Well, exactly. I mean, it must like it. There's obviously something about Abberton it likes. Probably all the other great white egrets that hang out there, I expect. So Mo sent this through. I haven't actually looked at this yet. So to be fair, I don't know if we can find any dates on it. Can you see anything? 31st to the 5th, 2020. Do you reckon?
2020. Yeah.
That was when it was ringed. So it was ringed sort of 3.5 years ago in Lithuania, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was Lithuania. Yeah.
There you go. And I think there's sort of details of all the different sightings on here.
And there's me on there. Look, there's me on there.
Right.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah. So
that's right. So it was ringed in Lithuania. Then it was seen in Holland.
Yep.
And then what's that? 3 weeks later, it was seen at Abberton. And then Lakenheath. Abberton, Cambridgeshire, Abberton. So
there you go.
Wow.
And it's just really interesting to know where these birds go. And obviously, the idea behind this, and Tim may elaborate on this in a couple of minutes' time, but we had a ringing demonstration, which we're going to talk about very briefly later on. And the idea is, if we can track where these birds are moving, we can work out the sort of feeding grounds and stopping points that they're making en route, the passage that they're taking, and hopefully that data can be used to try and protect those habitats and the surrounding environment to make life easier for these birds that move backwards and forwards all the time. So that's one of the ideas behind it.
I mean, that certainly that egret looks like it's pretty much resident now in the UK, doesn't it? It looks like it's migrated from its nesting grounds and now just found that Britain's a nice place to be.
So, talking about ringing, we're going to now seamlessly segue into our guest. So we've got Tim Hayward, who's yes, that was smooth, wasn't it? That was really smooth. It'll be smooth when I do the final edit. Don't worry, that'll be all. No, Tim Hayward has very kindly agreed to come on to the show, and hopefully he'll be joining us in about 2 seconds' time. Here we go. And Tim's going to talk a bit about ringing, and hopefully he'll be here. Yeah, here we go. Hey, excellent.
Evening, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Good evening, both of you.
Hi there. Just to let everyone know as well, we think there's a little bit of a lag issue with the connection. So Tim's lip sync might be a little bit out. We promise he's not dubbed. He's genuinely speaking live. Just a bit of lip sync issues. But yeah, Tim's on the committee of very good, Steve. Tim's on the committee of Essex Birdwatching Society and helping us all out. And you come on to talk a bit about birds and ringed birds and reporting them, haven't you?
Well, yes, this came from a conversation that you and I were having last weekend. And I was getting all excited and rather enthusiastically talking about a particular bird that you've referred to earlier that I saw a few weeks ago. It was a black-tailed godwit that we saw at Fingering Hoe. Myself and Harry Elliott, we were doing the web survey at Fingering Hoe a couple of weeks ago. And we saw this bird, and I blocked the ring, the colours and what have you, and reported it and got feedback and discovered it was actually a very old bird, for want of a better phrase.
Okay.
And I'll say a bit more about the old bird in a minute. But out of that conversation, when you and I were chatting and we were talking about rings in ringing in general and leg rings and what have you, and you said, would I come along this evening and just share a few thoughts and observations from the birds that I've seen. And so that's what we're planning to do. So if I can share my screen.
Should be good to go,
there
hopefully.
We go. And that one and that one.
Perfect.
How's that?
Excellent.
Can you see them?
Yes.
So, well, what we're talking about, this picture here shows generally what you'll like to see with the waders and some of the bigger birds. And with the colorings, you can see on the redshank on the left, colorings, and sometimes they have a little sticky out bit, which is referred to as a flag. So sometimes you might see some colors with a flag. With some of the bigger birds, you might see what are known as darbics, darbic rings, and these are 2 sheets of plastic, two layers of plastic, if you like, back to back, and the top layer is engraved to reveal the layer underneath. So this is obviously a white layer on top of a black layer for this black-headed gull here. And what you'll be noting and wanting to, and also on here, you can see that there are metal rings on both of these birds on the tarsus, which is the lower part of the leg, and on this one as well. So when you spot the bird, you're wanting to read what colours, and in this case with the redshank with the flag, and where they are. Now that's not as daft as it sounds. Certainly in terms of left and right, it's quite easy to get yourself confused. When you're looking at a bird head on, obviously the leg you can see on the right is its left leg, and the leg you can see on its left, on your left, is its right leg. It's important you get that the right way around. And you're wanting to record whether they're above this joint here or below. We often refer to that joint as a knee, but in fact it's not really a knee. And on a mammal's leg, that would be the ankle. And so the bit up here is the tibia above and the tarsus below. And on this black-headed gull, the rings are on the tarsus. With the waders, it can be tricky because often, as this one, it's in grass, but often a wader is obviously standing in water, and it can be actually quite tricky to spot whether there's rings on the tarsus or not, particularly with the waders. So that's the sort of thing we might find. 3 different types of rings there, the metal ring, and that will have all sorts of detail on it. It's very unlikely that you're going to be able to read all of it unless you can get really close to read the detail on that. But just logging the fact that there is a metal ring there is, you should include that. So when you actually, why is that not moving page? Why is it not going forwards? I want the next slide. Why am I not getting the next slide?
There you go.
Oh, here we go. Got the next slide. So the colours you might see, I put these colours up here just to, and the notations that get used. So these are generally the colours that you will see on the rings. And the notations, obviously things like white, red, orange, yellow, green, that's fairly straightforward. But for things like light green, think of lime. So light green is an L for lime. Black over here, because blue is a capital B, so black uses the letter N, using the French or even the Spanish, I suppose, for noir or negro for black. So black is an N, and pale blue is a P when you're, it's useful to use those when you're making your own notes, but also when you get the feedback back and you look at the sheets, and I'll show a couple in a minute, you'll see the sort of notation that's used, use that coding. So using just one particular example, and this is from a shot that I took, so you can see it's not the same quality as the previous shots which I'd lifted from the website, from the internet. So this is a black-tailed godwit that's looking at us. And I find it really, and somebody told me this trick a little while ago, rather than in your notebook trying to write, left tibia, red, black, red, right tibia, left tarsus, whatever. If you actually just in your notebook draw a cross, so that the upper part of the cross is for the tibia and the lower part for the tarsus, and obviously left and right either side, and then you can just write in. So this bird here, its left leg is blue, black, white. And one of the reasons why I chose this photo, because this also shows that what can happen to white rings sometimes, it can get a little confusing. White rings can get discolored and they can look a sort of creamy yellow. If you see a yellow one, they are distinctively yellow. But sometimes you can get that off white because the white rings do age a little bit. But that one is definitely blue, black, white. And then on the other side, we've got red, black, red. And I find that a really easy way of writing down quite quickly. A couple of weeks ago, I did a little trip to northern France and went to Marc-en-Terre, and I came across a massive flock of spoonbills, about 115 of them. And in that flock were 10 birds with Darvic rings on, Darvic and coloured rings as well. And I was rapidly trying to write down all these before something spooked them and they flew off. And it was actually quite easy to do when you're using this method here, just to knot it down in your notebook. And also, if you get a metal ring, just put a lowercase m. Reminds you that there was a metal ring there.
Okay.
So once you've seen your bird, you've identified the colours and you've written it down in your notebook. Next thing you want to do is to report it and to find out where to report it to. So I would suggest that you go to the BTO website. There's quite a discussion there about ringing and the value and importance of ringing and the contribution it makes. Although, in addition to that, I mean, I think it's just good fun. I find it absolutely fascinating and exciting when you do see a ring bird, to then find out where it's been and what it's been up to and how many times it's been backwards and forwards from its nesting ground to its summer ground or wherever. So if you go to the BTO website, there is this whole section on ring birds. You click on found a ring bird, and that'll take you to a page which shows various different types of rings, coloured rings here on this black cap, Darvics, on larger birds of prey. Sometimes you get tags, what have you. Where your nasal ring comes on this, Matt, I don't know.
Okay.
But so these are the possibilities, and all you have to do is just click on whichever one it is that you've got, and that'll for the coloured rings, that'll take you to this page, which encourages you to go to the CR Birding website, but tells you that if you don't have any luck there, then come back to this page. I have to say, I find it easier to come back through this route. I find that a little tricky to use. But for waders coming back through here, if you click on there, that then takes you to the International Wader Study Group. And they have a register, which is basically a big spreadsheet, which a Google Doc that you can view online, or you can even download it. And on that spreadsheet, it'll look something like this. It's perfectly straightforward spreadsheet. You can then filter on species. In this case, I just filtered on redshanks. And you can also filter on what the ringing. So this is to find out the particular combination of rings, whether it's 2 rings or 3 rings, whether it's just on the tibia or the tarsus, or on the left or the right or whatever. Different projects have different patterns and different sequences that they use. And from this, you can find out which project it was, and you can get an email and a name of the person then to send your email off to and say you've seen whatever it is, giving them the location and the combination of colours, or if it's Darviks, the codes and numbers that you've seen. So there's a few steps to go through, but it is quite easy to use the spreadsheet and find the project. And then once you've done that and submitted it, and then you're waiting to get some feedback. And I've got a couple of examples here. This was just a local one, quite a simple one, a swan that I saw last year. Not particularly exciting. First ringed in, it was ringed in Colchester, and I saw it in Abberton about 8 months later. So I think that was August to April. And this was a Darvik. So here's the code. So it was an orange ring with black N for noir, black letters, and the code on it was 4FS in brackets here. So that was on the Darvik ring. But now we come to the more exciting one. This
would you like a drum roll, Tim? Do you want a drum roll? There we go. Go on.
And this is the black-tailed godwit.
Wow.
And if you look to the bottom right, here's my sighting here on and Harry Elliott as well. We saw this at Fingering Hoe on the 14th of October. But if you look all the way back up the list, and this was a huge long list, I've only cut up, all I'm showing you here is the top and the bottom of it. But if you go right up here, you'll see it was first ringed in 1998.
Good grief.
Wow.
So I saw this, I thought, wow, that is an old bird. Harry Elliott then he Googled and to find out, how old do these birds get? And he found on the BTO website, there was a statement on there that said that the oldest recorded black-tailed godwit was 23 years and 7 months. And this one was 25 years. And in fact, when I then followed it up, because this report came back from University of East Anglia, when I then went back to UEA, they pointed out that because it was ringed in the wash in August, it was actually ringed as an adult female. So it wasn't a juvenile from 98. It must have been hatched, at least in 97. So that makes it 26 years old. At least it could be even older. But anyway, UEA also told me that actually recently they've had a couple of sightings, a couple of reportings of birds older than the 23-year-old one that's on the BTO website.
Wow.
So there are several, it seems, that are older than that 23 years. So I don't know yet. And they told me that they haven't all been centrally processed, was the phrase they used.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is the oldest ever recorded black-tailed godwit. Maybe not. But at the very least, I think we can say it is one of the oldest ever recorded. And I found that really exciting. And to think this thing's 26 years old. It will have flown 51 times between here and Iceland, which I estimate it just in straight line is 30,000 miles. That is some bird to have survived all of that time.
Amazing.
So I got very excited about that. So it's really that easy. I would encourage people to do it. to log it down in your notebook and to try and find the project that ringed it in the first place and submit your sightings. And in my experience, most of them will come back to you very, very quickly, and they'll give you the history of the bird. So that was my bit of fun.
So Tim,
There we go.
I was just going to say that hasn't been seen for 6 years.
I know.
Since your last,
Yeah.
since your sighting and the last sighting.
Goodness.
There was a gap of 6 years, so it's been hiding somewhere.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, where it's
15
been, who knows?
It's regular, 15, 16, lots of places, and then just disappeared.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
bizarre.
So where it's been, who knows?
Wow.
Well, that's why. I mean, it is. I was speaking to, I think it was Alice Marlowe earlier this month, which we'll cover why we were speaking to her later on. And she was involved with swan ringing at some level, and I've set up to see ringed swans at Ardley, and I'll be honest with you, I don't always bother reporting them because I think, well, it's a swan, it's probably been reported lots of times. But she said, no, report it every time, please, because A, they know the bird's still alive, B, they know where it is, they know where it's been travelling to and from. So it's hugely important, and you report them as well, don't you, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like you say, as Tim says, they get back to you really quickly.
Yeah.
So now, well worth reporting. And we've had a few comments in the chat tonight. Graham Mee said there was a ringed oyster catcher seen recently at Canby Point, and he's put a link in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, it was ringed in Holland by the looks of it. And then Richard Chu said, does anyone know what percentage of ring birds are recovered as either dead or retrapped? I don't know what it is. If anyone's a ringer, I mean, I don't know if Dave Dutton or Mo Jackson might be able to.
There was, I think from memory, there is something on the BTO site that's out of the 30 million birds that have been, not 30 million, 30, I can't remember what the figure was, but there is a number there for the total number that they think have been ringed in the UK and the number of sightings. So maybe you get some idea from that. But what you said, Matt, about the swan, yes, that one that I reported at Aberton, I thought, well, so many people must have seen it. I mean, it was a Lower Breton Causeway. I mean, how many of us spend how many hours standing at Lower Breton? So lots of people must have seen that bird. It was ringed in Colchester. When I got the result back, that was the first time it had been reported.
Wow.
So it's worth it. And
that's the thing. I mean, I suppose as well, if you think about the fact that these, ringers spend so much of their own time, and we've also found out their own money, doing these projects, and they do it obviously because they love doing it, but the reason they do it is to get the feedback. It's point, if no one reports these rings, it's almost pointless them doing it in a way. So I think it's our responsibility to really, as birders, if we care about these birds, where they're going to and how we can help protect them, we need to report these sightings, definitely. So yeah, absolutely, please do it.
Stanley Davis has said he had a ringed avocet earlier in the year at Fingringhoe, and it hadn't been seen for over 10 years, or for nearly 10 years.
Wow.
Between it being ringed, it was ringed, 10 years later, turns up. No one has seen in between.
Well, maybe if they had seen it, they hadn't reported it. So we don't know where it's been in that time.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So really important. So yeah, well done for reporting that, Stanley. And I think we've also got a hello to say to somebody, haven't we, Steve?
We have. I do know what I was going to say hello, but I don't know, I'm not very good at pronouncing names. So we've got a young viewer tonight. And I'm going to say, what are you going to say?
Sanan?
Shannon?
Sanan, I reckon. I think
wrong,
Tim's gone.
Tim's gone. If we pronounce it wrong...
Oh, he's back.
Then...
Hello.
I can come back if you like. I thought you were done with me. I
thought no, we hadn't said goodbye yet.
Don't say goodbye.
Bye.
I'll go back to watching. I'll go back to being a spectator.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Really appreciate your time and really useful information. Thank you very much. And good luck with the oldest godwit in the world ever.
And look forward to seeing you on Sunday. And where we're going on Sunday, there's a very good chance along the estuary there of finding a ring bird. I'll put some money on it. It's a good place to find one.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
If that's not a good advert, I don't know what it is. See you later, Tim. See you Sunday.
See you later, Tim.
Right. Okay.
That's amazing. I mean, that's amazing, that godwit, isn't it? I mean, that's just...
Oh, that's just absolutely incredible. I'm just going to pop in.
Frankie's just messaged in and said the godwit's older than he is.
Who was that? Sorry.
Frankie Robertson said the Godwit is older than I am.
Oh, that's incredible. But you know what? If you think about that, that's mad, really. I mean, we met Frankie, and that black-tailed godwit is older than Frankie Robertson. That's incredible.
Yeah, and also, like, even with the colourings, I've reported colourings in Australia, all sorts of places.
Yep.
It's not just a UK thing. They do this, so.
Yep. And the EU Ring website, by the way, that was where I reported the nasal saddlebird. So if you do see a nasal saddlebird, you can click on the colour ring, click on wildfowl, and then you can tell it or tell the portal where you've seen the colour marking, and there's an option for nasal saddle on there. And incidentally, if you do report a nasal saddle, there is a letter in the middle as well. So this one I got a ZX down the side, so I'm going to call it Spectrum, obviously, showing my age there.
Nice, good work.
It could have been 80, could have been 81. I could have been really showing my age. Could have been 80 actually, but anyway, let's not go there. And then down the middle, there's a letter F, which I didn't report the first time because I didn't realise it was there because I only had side profile, but I managed to work it out. There is actually a different letter in the middle. So one in the middle, two down the side.
So did they tell you that there was a letter missing then?
They came back to me. So I reported it as ZX, black on blue. And then they came back to me and said there should be another letter in the middle, which I managed, luckily, from the two side profiles I'd got both sides, I worked out what it was.
Wow. So that's not an easy thing to see, though, is it?
No. I mean, obviously.
If you just do something on the side.
Yeah. Yeah. But try and remember that if you do see one, try and get pictures both sides and get a picture if you can. If you carry a camera or phone scoping, as Tim has done on his sightings there, if you can take a picture, then later on, particularly with the Darviks, with the letters and numbers on, it can sometimes make it easier to read them rather than trying to do it in the field if it's windy and raining and horrible. Yes, so hi. I hope the pronunciation was right, Shanann or Senan, but hello. And 8 years old, so good evening. Thank you for watching. Yeah, brilliant. I hope you're bird watching. I hope you get out in your garden over the weekend and try and see some nice birds in the garden if you've got one. Or if you haven't, go down the park. Waxwings, yeah, find a waxwing. That would be really good.
A few people have commented. Richard, Paul Everett said thanks to Tim for coming on and really interesting. Adrian Watson says he's watching the show laying in hospital bed after having back surgery today. Best way he knows of speeding up recovery. Well,
I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, I hope it's all gone well, mate. And yeah. But obviously, if you're sitting watching this, then.
Well, to be fair, what it is, I think the nurses have got us on and they said to him, unless you get better and get out of bed, we're just going to play this show on loop. So that's it. He's going to be up and about in no time, I reckon.
Brilliant. Love it.
Oh, right. Should we talk about farmlands?
Yes. Farmland bird surveys.
On last month's show, I think, Mark.
It was last month's show, October's, yeah.
Yes, it was. And Mark came on about talking about the farmland bird survey, the big farmland bird count that's happening in February. And he mentioned that he was looking for volunteers to help out cover some local surveys on farmlands. He's trying to create relationships between the RSPB and farmers and landowners, and hopefully the Essex Birdwatching Society can help out by providing volunteers to go onto this land and survey the birds that are on the land and find out what's there. So excitingly, and we can't tell you exactly where because this is private land, but in middle of Essex somewhere, the first one of these sessions took place on Thursday. And if I share this picture, you might recognise, well, you probably recognise a few of the people on there actually. Can you see the picture?
You can see the picture.
Excellent. So obviously you've got Mark in the middle there. I don't know who this reprobate is on the right-hand side, and several other volunteers. You've got Neil from the editor of the Essex Bird Report, in fact, and Ken Hudgell and David Smith and Jan Lewis. This lady was called Sally, and unfortunately I didn't get this lady's name. Really sorry, apologies if you're watching. So it was a really, really good session. We had a really good walk around this land. We split into teams and covered off different areas. And if I get rid of that picture, because I've had enough of looking back at myself. Hang on a minute. There we go. We've got a list of the birds that were seen. And if you have a look on here, the land has been split into several zones. So we covered 4 of the zones this time, which was D, E, G, and H. and there are farmland bird indicator species. So the common farmland, or well, birds that should be common on farmland at the top, and then other birds that we saw down the bottom there. And if you have a look on there, I mean, we saw 63 different species, I think, between us all.
So which zone did you do?
D.
Okay.
So Jan and I did D. So we had 22 lapwings flying over, but no one else had any lapwings anywhere at all. We had one yellowhammer. There were 10 in total. Very few finches altogether. I mean, linnets, I think, three. We had 3. There were 35 in another zone. That's it. Starlings, decent number of starlings. Lots of wood pigeons. Plenty of fieldfare, which is nice. Down the bottom here somewhere. Where are they? There we go. 219 fieldfare were recorded. We had a barn owl, which was really nice. There was kingfisher and nuthatch, 3 nuthatch, coal tits. So there's some good species there.
Wow, it's good.
And it just shows. I mean, the gentleman that owns the land, he really doesn't know what's on the land, and I think he was very, very appreciative of the survey happening. And we're going to be hopefully back there again at some point in the future, covering other sections. So if anyone wants to get involved, you get the chance to go around some areas that you wouldn't normally have access to and explore these places that haven't had surveys done on them and find birds that maybe people don't know are there. So send an email in either to Mark Nowers, and I think he's mark.nowers@rspb.org.uk.
I think that's right. Yep.
I think he is. Or if not, send it in to us and I'll forward it to Mark. So it's info.ebws@gmail.com or the ebwstalks@gmail.com. Any of them, they'll all get picked up and forwarded through. So please get involved. There's more of these happening, more of these in different places. Well, I think Mark has got, idea of going to, you've done these before, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah, just some in the year, yeah. So he's trying to, basically, they're mostly based in North Essex. But obviously, it'd be great if we could spread it wider through the county.
Yeah, well, we need volunteers to help out because we can't all.
To help out. No,
to take bodies, definitely. So yeah, please get in touch if you can help with that. Right.
Well, there's been a few events the last few weeks, hasn't there?
There has, yes, and one of them was very exciting, wasn't it?
Well, in fact, they were both very exciting, Matt.
Well, they were. I mean, everything's exciting, to be fair. I'm excited as soon as I get out of bed. I'm like, hey, birding, let's get up. But let's talk about the particular one. Hang on a minute. I'm covering because I haven't got the picture open. Right, kill that and hopefully open a picture. So I'm going to seamlessly open this picture and Steve is going to even more seamlessly talk about it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Back in the room.
So back a few weeks ago, we organised a pop-up ringing event with the what they call them, the Southern colour ringing. No, not Southern colour ringing group. What they call the South. Oh my God!
The South Essex Bird Ringing Group.
Yes, my God, I can't even think what they're called. So yeah, we had a fantastic morning, didn't we? Down at Wat Tyler Country Park.
We did. With some fabulous people. I think Frank and George and Alice.
Yeah.
And I think Frank here is ringing probably a blue tit. There are quite a few blue tits ringed. And they really explained, the ringing process, the different types of rings involved. They weigh the birds, they measure the birds, everything's logged and recorded. And they were explaining what that data is used for, why they do it, and so on and so forth. Obviously, the highlight of this picture, of course, Steve, is the bit at the front here.
The biscuits, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. So biscuits were provided. If you come along to pop-up events in the future, if they're limited number ones, there'll be biscuits. If it's unlimited number, there may not be enough biscuits to go around, depending on who turns up. But yeah. But yeah, you can see April here as well. Yeah, and I think David might be in the next picture. Yeah, David's just at the back here, just bending over the table. So there were 5 volunteers in total, I think, weren't there?
They were. And it was Dave Wilkinson's like the head ringer. And yeah, thanks for, inviting us down because it was a fabulous morning.
Yeah. It really was, wasn't it? I don't think they'd ringed much at Wat Tyler. I think it's a fairly new setup there for them, isn't it?
It is. They only started earlier this season or earlier this year, and they didn't know quite how it was going to be, but it seems like it's really good now. So, and we had some good birds, didn't we?
We did. We had Robin.
Oh, Robin.
And you know what? It's what always amazes me when you see a bird in the hand. They just look so different, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they just look so small.
Mm,
You know, we're so used to seeing robins in the garden hopping around. When you see them in the hand, they're
mm.
just giddy little things.
And they're not panicking. You know, they're very calm. They're very very calm in the bag because when they're netted and bagged, they're then kind of in the dark really, and they instantly relax.
Yeah.
Um, and then when they're taken out, they're measured. They're processed as quickly as they can. Um, I was really impressed with the way that the birds were handled. You know, such respect to the birds. You know, handled absolutely expertly as you would expect. But it's really nice to see it happening. Um, Goldfinch, obviously,
Beautiful.
beautiful. And we found out about the sexing goldfinches, didn't we?
Yeah.
The base of the bill. Was it the male has got more sort of gingery feathering, I think.
Right.
And
Yeah. And
yeah,
a little bit more red on the face.
yeah. And the female hasn't. So I didn't know that. That's quite interesting. And what's this one? Go on, Steve. Bird ID on the spot.
Great tits.
Well
Yeah.
done. Yay. Excellent.
I forgot what they look like.
But this was the star, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bearded tit or bearded reedling, if you want to
We'd
call it.
been the session lasted about 3 hours, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3 hours. Yeah.
And we'd had a great time. We'd had robins and great tits and blue tits and biscuits and lots of chat and lots of information. And they decided to do one more little sweep of the nets before they took them in, and came back with two birds, didn't they? And this was the starbird, a young, I presume that's a young male, isn't it, with the yellow bill? Or they all got yellow. I'm not sure actually. Showing ignorance there. Don't know.
Mostly.
But beautiful, beautiful bird. Might be a female type, not sure. Or maybe someone can correct me. And then the other bird that came in was everyone's favourite little cutie pie, little long-tailed tit to finish with. So that was a really fabulous event. And we've got some exciting news, haven't we? We don't know exactly when yet, but
fingers crossed we'll be organising another one in 2024, early 2024. So we just got to confirm some dates with the ringing group. But yeah, so there'll be more information sent out on MailChimp. So if you're not a subscriber, if you go onto our website, ebws.org.uk, go to the bottom of the page, there's a little thing, subscribe to our mailing list, and you'll get to hear about all our events that we're holding, and things like tonight and lots of other great stuff. So please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber.
Just very quickly bring that up. So this is our homepage, as Steve said, ebws.org.uk. You can simply Google Essex Birdwatching Society or just EBWS. And as Steve said, go to the bottom. The only bit you've got to put in is your email address. You don't have to put your name in if you don't want to, but if you do, your email will be personalised. So if you want it to say, hi, Matt, or hi, Steve, or hi, whatever your name is, then pop your name in here and then click subscribe. And if you get fed up with us contacting you, or you don't want us to be contacting you anymore, you can unsubscribe at any time. The other thing I was going to show you very quickly, if I can find it.
I was just going to say as well, Matt, another thing, that if you're the event, the ringing event, we was quite overly subscribed, so we had to sort of draw names out of a hat. So it's quite likely that we'll do that again.
Yes. Oh, I just realised I'm still sharing my screen. Let me stop that, and I'll find what I'm looking to find in the background for the next bit. Yeah, so we're going to do it again. The people that came last time, you're more than welcome to apply again. But if we get lots of people applying, then we'll probably prioritise other people ahead of you. And we did mention this last time, and I think everyone was kind of quite happy with that. So yeah, I mean, hopefully people will understand that. Fingers crossed. There was a talk as well, wasn't there?
So back at I think it was about the 2nd of November or the 1st of November, we had the first Zoom talk of the autumn season, and it was by a professional wildlife photographer, Mark Sisson, and he spoke about the wildlife of the Falkland Islands, and I have to say it was pretty phenomenal.
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. We've basically the talk has kindly been uploaded onto the website. He allowed us to upload it, and that's what I was faffing around just trying to find just now. So fingers crossed. Here we go.
But there was some phenomenal images. Just how Mark took photographs, how he
Yeah.
went about thinking about them.
Definitely. So if you do like to sit back for the next hour and 48 minutes, we'll watch it again.
And we'll see you later.
Yeah, bye. No,
Bye.
if I click through just very, very quickly, I mean, the standard of photography, as you can see, was absolutely phenomenal. And if people haven't seen the show yet, or the presentation yet, please go onto our YouTube channel. Just go onto YouTube, search for EBWS or at EBWS, and Mark's talk is on there under the V Talk section. And it's well worth sitting through. I mean, I was spellbound because, as Steve said, he was explaining how he took the photos and the thought process behind the composition as well, wasn't he? So yeah, really good. Right,
we've been almost an hour so far. Crikey, where's it gone?
oh my goodness. Okay, well, we're nearly halfway through. So we've got some events coming up, haven't we?
We have. So we've got an event this Sunday. So Sunday, the 26th of November, and it's a field trip. So it's a car trip only, no coach. And we're off to Heybridge Gravel Pits for the morning. So we'll be meeting in the Daisy Meadow car park at Heybridge Basin at 9 o'clock. It's a pay and display car park, so you'll need some money or cards to pay for that. That's Matt's got up on the screen now. So we'll be at Heybridge Pits in the morning, and then we're going to go around to the Ironworks Meadow Reserve, or the Chelmer Blackwater Reserve, which is also in Heybridge. So this is a small reserve we'll be visiting in the afternoon that the Society have given some money to for boardwalk and sort of a platform. It's a great little place. We went there, I don't know if it was last year or maybe.
I think it was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so.
Last year we had a wander around. So Simon Wood, Society President, will be joining us for the afternoon session, and also for the morning session. Matt, we've got John Buchanan, haven't we?
We certainly have. And John was a guest on the show. Was that last year as well, I think?
Yeah, he if you remember back, he wrote the book The Wildlife of Malden. So John will join us on Sunday morning. So that is brilliant news.
Yes,
and obviously you and I will be there, and Jerry Johnson, Society Chair and outdoor meetings organizer. He'll be fresh from his travels as well.
So yeah, lots of people. So please just come along. As Steve said, Daisy Meadow car park, meet at 9 o'clock. There's parking charges there. We're going to be staying here for about 3 hours, we think, don't we?
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours. Yeah.
And then round to the ironworks. So please just turn up. You don't have to come to both. If you want to come to Heybridge and you have got to do something else in the afternoon, you're more than welcome to come for the morning and go when you need to go. And similarly for the afternoon. So please just come along, join us, and we'll see if we can find some colour-ringed birds to report. There's also next Friday, interestingly and excitingly, we haven't done any pictures on this yet, but there's stuff coming on it. So we've got another talk on the 1st of December. We've got a talk on Dungeness by Valerie Vile. She's going to be covering the ecology, diversity of wildlife and the history of Dungeness and why it's so unique. And we had a field trip down there not that long ago, did we? So was it last year or year before?
I think it was last year, but it's a great place. If you've never been to Dungeness before, it's a cracking birding site. In fact, it's just a great wildlife site, not just birds. But so yeah, looking forward to that. That'd be good.
Yep, and that's an indoor meeting. So it's in Chelmsford in the Quaker Meeting Hall. Details will be advertised soon on the website and also on the mailing list. So as we showed earlier on, please join the mailing list because you'll find out about this stuff first. So yes, that's good. And we're going to be doing some more pop-ups. We've got hopefully a Wader ID pop-up coming in December sometime. We're not sure exactly when, but the details will be published on the website and on the mailing list as well. Yep. And we're thinking about doing a beginner's guide to photography one, aren't we? Bird photography.
We are.
That will be a limited numbers event, and it will be kind of strictly for beginners, just to learn bits about ISO and aperture and shutter speeds and so on and so forth. So yes, look out for that. That will be in the new year sometime.
Fabulous.
Right, good. Any feedback?
Let's have a quick look. Shannon is pronounced Senon. So I've learned something new tonight. So thank Sean
you.
Shane, sorry for mentioning that. That's great. Frankie Robertson said, was the great tip a bit pecky? I don't think it was actually.
No, the blue tits are the worst ones,
Blue
evidently.
tips are the ones, yeah.
Mhm. They get right down the cuticles of your nails and have a good old peck. So yeah.
And then just going back a little bit, Mo Jackson said there were a few waxwings in Wivenhoe today. Not seen by her, but maybe tomorrow, she said. So, and then Graham Mee said about the waxwing at Gunners Park today, which I mentioned earlier. So yeah,
Well, fingers crossed.
fingers crossed.
Maybe I won't be at Haybridge on Sunday. Maybe I'll be in Wivenhoe.
Or maybe we'll find one at Haybridge.
Oh, that'd be even better. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. John Buchanan can line up half a dozen of them in a bush somewhere for us. Yeah.
Won't be the first time.
Right, membership. So if people want to join this fabulous and wonderful society, what's involved? What do they get? How much does it cost?
Well, the £16.
I always forget my fixture card. I'm rubbish. I don't know where it is.
That's all right. Because I've nicked it. I snuck
So,
in.
What do you get? You get 2 journals a year, and these are amazing, full of articles written by members and people and pictures and goodness knows what, and sightings in the back, sightings roundups in the back, which are always interesting to have a read through.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we also get this, don't we?
God, you've got one the same. Hey.
I have. Snap, yeah.
Yeah,
And this is the sort of Bible, isn't it?
It is. It's everyone who sends their records in gets collated by sub-editors, and a fabulous publication. I mean, it doesn't get better than this, to be honest with you. There's tables, charts, there's wonderful photographs in there.
Yep. And you've got some articles in the background as well. So covering off they're sort of more the journal is really good fun, and it's really sort of recent topical coming out every 6 months. But the articles in the back here are really interesting. They cover some local birding stories.
Just going to say, Matt, speaking about ringing, David Wilkerson writes the ringing report in the back.
There you go.
So there's a ringing report, and this is 2021, but there were 13,131 birds ringed in Essex.
Good grief.
That year. And then there's also lots of tables here showing the recovery. So let's just choose one. So there was a grey-leg goose that was ringed in 2006 in Dumfries and Galloway, and it was seen at Walthamstow Wetlands in 2021.
There you go.
So, like Tim was saying earlier, all these records,
It's a really good publication. I mean, you can buy it separately, but why would you? Because £16, it costs. How much does that cost to buy separately? Is it 12 or 14?
This is I think this is 10. This is £12.
Yeah,
and we've got £22 worth of publications for 16.
I might join like 500 times and become rich with the money I'm saving. Don't know if that'll work that way. Yeah, maybe not.
That works somehow.
You can also buy merchandise, can't you? So we've got T-shirts in wonderful colours like this flame. We've also got blue and graphite and olive and charcoal, I think. We've got
notepads,
caps.
Nice man, the hat.
Got shopping bags, haven't we?
We have. I'm just working on it. Hang on
a minute. That's gone wrong. We've got pop-up umbrellas that pop up. Ready? Watch this. Hey! There we go.
We've got it all. We've got sweatshirts, T-shirts.
Yes. And badges.
All sorts of pin badges.
Excellent. So, yeah, lots of stuff. It's all on my website. There's a section on the merchandise on my website. So you can buy something online if you send us an email and we'll quote you for postage. Or if you want something, let us know in advance. If you're going to come to one of the indoor meetings or one of the birding field trips, we will bring bits along with us and bring some cash and buy them, and it all goes to a good cause, obviously.
And Sean Mulqueen has just said he joined a few weeks ago, and the publications are great. So
thanks, John.
And our membership secretary, Pete Dwyer, who's watching tonight, so we've got over 700 members now, which is phenomenal. So everyone's much appreciated. We do really appreciate it.
Definitely. Right. Shall we do have a mindful moment?
Yep, that sounds about good to me.
Okay. If I can find it, we'll have it. Hang on a minute. Here we go. So, John's mindful moment. John Ward, very kindly every month, and this month he did it. I didn't even have to ask. I published this a couple of days ago because I was waiting for you to come back to make sure that everything was okay. And I think the email went out for this 2 or 3 nights ago.
Yeah.
And then the next day, John had done a video and sent it to me. So thank you very much, John. Really appreciate it.
Much appreciated, yeah.
Yeah. So let's all settle back, cameras off, and have a couple of minutes worth of mindful moment with John's video. Here we go.
Superb again.
Yeah. Did it again every time. It's just so relaxing. The noise of the water, and I was sitting here going, I've been at work today. I was sitting, it's
You know
lovely.
what? That footage of that turnstone, just
I know,
in the stones over,
I know. And the juvenile Brent goose just stood there.
stood there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, John.
And there was a duck in the middle there. I just didn't know what that was all about.
Yeah,
So,
some weird, like a weird
hybrid,
potshot thing. We'll
hybrid
talk about
thing.
that later on, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Right. Okay. So from the sublime to the ridiculous, we're now going to have a break, aren't we? I think.
We are. Yep.
Yep. So I do apologise every single time this happens. So sorry. I really should get John to do a break video, shouldn't I? Really?
No.
But well, to be fair, beforehand, I said to Steve, which one of these shall we use? And Steve said we're going to use his favourite. So I'm going to inflict this on everyone again. This is Steve's fault. I'll just remind you of all that. Okay.
I take full responsibility.
Full responsibility. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay. See you soon.
Apologise for the cheesy. I love the music.
Your fault.
I know, but then to be fair, I've got no taste. So
I'd done a new one with like Mozart and Brahms and Liszt and some amazing music, and you chose the 3 Linnets, mate. Unbelievable.
I know. Now I'm sure everyone watching appreciated it as well.
It's when you look at the figures afterwards, and we get
People
to
switch
half
it
time.
off.
Everyone switches off. It's like gone. They're all gone. We're talking to ourselves now. You do realise that, don't you?
Fine. Okay, he's there then, to be honest.
Okay, so has anyone made any terrible comments about the cheesy video?
No, I think they also how wonderful it was. They made some comments, lots of comments about John's lovely video.
Yeah, good, good.
So that was awesome, Frankie. Yeah, I mean John's videos are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. What were the little brown jobbies between Snow Bunting and Brent? I think they were Skylarks, if I remember correctly.
Well, yeah, Stanley and Richard have both said Skylarks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, oh, there you go.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. Tony Pickett said, anyone in the Colchester area interested in car sharing to Heybridge on Sunday, please let him know. So if you can let Tony know in the chat, that'd be much appreciated.
Good idea. And to save people having details published in the chat, if you don't want to, Tony, if you email us your contact details, and if anyone wants to car share, email them all into EBWS at ebwstalks@gmail.com. If you're not happy to put stuff in the chat, if you're happy to put it in there, go for it. But yeah, we'll put you in touch with each other. If not, that's fine. And good idea, by the way. We discussed that actually, hadn't we, about car sharing? And if anyone does want to get car sharing pools together for this self-drive stuff, I think it's a really good idea because it's
good idea.
Money. Yeah, definitely.
And then Richard asked about the numbers of birds ringed and the numbers of recoveries. So Tim's looked on the BTO website, and it says that 50 million birds have been ringed and 1 million recoveries.
Wow. Okay. Good.
So yeah, what else have we got? And I think that's probably it. I think. Yeah, that's it. I think.
Okay. Cool. Lovely. Right. The photo competition voting has finished, obviously, and we have some results.
Oh. Can't do another drum roll.
No, we can't. And you would think that I'd have the results ready, which I thought I'd done, but I haven't. Here we go. Hang on.
It's okay.
Right. In fact, it's gone horribly wrong. Oh, no, it hasn't. Here we go. I think that's right. Let me just double check. Oh, my goodness. I've had 3 minutes to do this. Absolute shambles. Seriously. If anyone,
you know what it was?
If anyone wants to complain... Sorry, go on.
It was that music was so good. You were mesmerised by it.
I spent 2.5 minutes dancing, and then I realised I was in big trouble. Right. Okay. So
I got my maracas out. So
okay. Thanks, Steve. Wow. I'm glad I wasn't there for that. Right. So we've got the reverse order, and I hope I've got this right. Where's it gone? I can't see it. I'm having some problems sharing my screen here. Bear with me just 1 second. I'll try once more because it is ready to go, but I don't know where it's gone. Ah, there it is. Okay. Right. So in 4th place, and don't forget these 4 photographs were out of kind of 82. I think we had 82 entries.
Yep.
So in 4th place in the final was Little Greben Chick by Tony Peplow. And
nice.
I love this because there's a lot of action going on with this water spraying up, the adults obviously rearing up out of the water. It's almost like it's telling the little chick off. And that little chick has got the sweetest face in the world. I think that's just such a great little picture. Love that.
It's cool. It's cool.
That was 4th. Now in 3rd place, and I think I might have messed up the order here, but hang on. That might work. Yeah, there we go. Right, so in 3rd place, we had Great White Egrets by Andy Brown.
That's nice as well. Really good.
And this, I'm going to confess, this was actually my favourite because I think it's a lovely sharp shot, and it's just the way they're dancing, skipping through the water. I really love this picture. So thanks so much for sending that in, Andy. That's great. Second, I'm not going to do 2nd place. Should we do the winner?
I do 2nd place because I voted for the 2nd place one. So
well, if we do the winner, if we do 2nd place, there's no suspense for the winner. I'll tell you what, let's do 2nd place then. 2nd place is going to be.
I want to see.
2nd place.
I like that. It's amazing how long-legged Goldcrests are.
I know.
Who knew?
It's mad. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the legs don't fit the bird, do they?
No, that's a cracking shot. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
And big feet as well, big feet. And of course, that means in 1st place we had the diving. Oh, sorry, 2nd place, by the way, the photographer was Martin Buckley. So thank you, Martin, for sending that in. And then the 1st place, the Kingfisher diving by Sean Mulqueen.
Sean.
It's such a good capture, this one. I mean, obviously, you've got to be right place, right time, right settings, right light. Everything's got to be right to get a shot like this. And I think we probably all agree that he nailed it. So
He did.
congratulations, Sean. We'll be in touch in the next day or two just to get your details. And then we'll get depending on where you live, might personally deliver your picture to you. But if not, if you're miles away, then either Steve can or or we'll get it in the post. But either way, you're going to get a picture and a certificate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, back in.
Massive thanks to everyone who entered, to everyone who voted. And if you can hang around to the end of the show, we're going to show a video with all of the entries in at the end of the show.
Brilliant.
Right, good.
So yeah, so we've got some great stuff coming up, haven't we? In the next 6 months or so, really. I mean, but the main event next March is this Birdwatching Society annual, well, not annual, it's biannual conference at Rittle Agricultural College.
Yes. And
Here
we go. So the EBWS Conference 2024. It's called, what's it called, Steve?
Birds and Birding, past, present, future.
And you can see on here we've got past, obviously, tree sparrows, because tree sparrows used to be kind of like quite common in Essex.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Present, we got cattle egret, because they kind of very recently, the last 3 or 4 years, started breeding in the county. And future, well, we don't know, do we?
We don't know. Who knows what stuff will arrive or
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's a glossy ibis.
No.
Might be a red flank bluetail, maybe, but not quite. But who knows?
No. Yeah, red flank bluetail, I reckon.
Okay, all right. And yes, so this is on our website. If you go to the website and click on hover over the events, bottom option there, conference takes you to this page. It tells you a bit of blurb on here. There's going to be 6 speakers as before. It's a full day event. We've got some light lunch. There's a raffle with some great prizes. And this time round, the conference is being sponsored by our friends up in Halesworth, Sussex, Viking Optical. So Viking have kindly agreed to sponsor the conference. They're going to have a stand there with their own products on, and also some of the products from, I think, Swarovski and Zeiss and so forth. They're going to be bringing some of the top-end stuff with them as well for people to look at and maybe get a deal at the show.
Yep.
They've also very kindly donated a pair of their top-of-the-range 8x42 Osprey binoculars, which have got a retail price of $499, and a pair of 8x42 Kestrel binoculars, which have got a retail price of $259. Those prizes are both going into the raffle. And they have said that moving forwards, if you want to visit them up in Halesworth, and it's only just up the road, they've got a great little showroom. They've got loads of products in there, and they will guarantee really good prices for EBWS members, and they guarantee you a discount. So just go in there. All you've got to do is give your membership number, and then they'll give you a discount. And if you don't know what your membership number is, just email us, info.ebws@gmail.com, and we'll send back an email with your membership number on. And that's another good reason to join the society.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There you go. The other thing, if you're interested in attending next year's conference, please send us an email, info.ebws@gmail.com, with your name and how many tickets you require. You will then be placed on a priority booking list. Woo! With the opportunity to buy your tickets 48 hours before they go on general sale. So we will not be taking sales off the website until people who've emailed us get the opportunity to buy their tickets first. Now, the numbers for this conference is going to be quite limited, probably about 120, 150 delegates.
Yep.
I think, and we've got 700 members.
Yep. So
plus, you don't have to be a member to come to this. So yeah, there's 800 people on the mailing list. So a lot of them aren't members. So I think the demand for this could be quite high. So if you do want to come, or if you're interested in coming, drop us an email. There's no commitment at this stage. We'll contact you when the ticket's ready to go on sale. You can then confirm, send your payment across by BACS, and you will be at the conference with the chance to win one of the fabulous prizes and to see the wonderful talks and to eat the amazingly delicious sandwiches.
Absolutely. I mean, if you've not been before, it's a brilliant day. I think I've done 6 conferences now or something, and they're just every time just gets better and better.
Definitely. Well, we're going to have stands there, hopefully from RSPB. Liz Huxley's going to be there with some of her photographs to sell. I think swallow birding are going to be there.
Swallow burning will be there. If you fancy coming on one of my day trips or holidays, then I'm sure we can blog you something. Or just come along and have a chat with me, and I'll sign autographs. I've never signed an autograph in my life. I don't think
we're meant to be encouraging people, Steve. Sorry.
No,
you've heard it first. Steve will autograph your caps if you want. If you turn up at the swallow birding stand with one of these caps, and he'll sign your cap for you. So there you go.
There you go.
Excellent. Brilliant.
I'll sign plaster casts, all sorts.
I might break my arm just so you can sign my plaster cards.
But joking aside, it's a really good day. I mean, great. We've got a great array of speakers organised, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Right. Where have we been? What we've seen? Well, normally you go first on this, but I think
I want to know what I've been missing.
Well, I think I'm going to go first because, to be honest with you, I haven't really been anywhere or seen an awful lot. I've seen a few good things, but I've only really been to Ardley Reservoir and Abberton Reservoir since the last show, pretty much. A couple other places, but hey ho. Right. So,
anywhere else that begins with an A?
Sorry.
Anywhere else that begins with an A? I think Abberton, Ardley.
Anywhere, I guess.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. You can birdwatch anywhere. Yeah, you can. Right. So this was on the 28th of October, which is after the last show, so just about counts. And the great white egrets are back at Ardley Reservoir. There's a couple of them, and this one kind of flew over my head and called. It didn't poop on me, unfortunately, so I've still just got the barn owl poop on my strap, but I'm working on it. So I thought that was quite fun, just flying overhead. Got a really lovely close encounter with a Chetty's warbler. So there's at least two, or I haven't heard them for the last week or two, but there was at least two birds at Ardley. And I think on this particular occasion, it was up the Wick Lane Causeway. One bird was just to the north, really close in, but the other bird was, they were kind of singing at each other, and the other bird was the other side of the road. So this bird was actually sort of reasonably agitated and very showy because of that. So really taking no notice of me at all. Singing at the bird behind me, and so I managed to get a couple of pictures, which I was really pleased with because you don't often see them.
No, that's a cracker.
Then on to Abberton Reservoir. This was on the 2nd of November, and there was a female mandarin duck, and I think these are so pretty. They've got this beautiful sort of scalloping on the side and really delicate features. Very beautiful duck, and she looked quite interested. And I thought, what's she interested in? And then I turned around. What a poser.
Oh, wow. That's cracker.
What a poser. I'm not kidding. I mean, he looks like a punk from the 70s or 80s, doesn't he?
You should have entered that in the photographic competition.
Oh, we don't enter into the competition, but
of course not.
But no, that just made me laugh. I mean, it was quite a windy day, to be fair, and so I took a few snaps, and one of them just came out.
Love it.
What's next? Right. Yeah, this was on the way to work, so I was bombing down the Wick Lane Causeway, and there's a great big pile of earthy, manure-y stuff on one side of the road with a gap, which I always have a quick glance at just in case there's something on top of it. And there was, so my car screeched to a halt on the side of the road up at an angle, and I jumped out with the camera and ran across the road, nearly got run over, but managed to get a picture of this buzzard. So that was quite nice.
Lovely.
And then I did my webs count at Ardley and got this Goldcrest, obviously not on the webs list, but it was really flitting around very nicely in front of me. And I quite like this because it's got the shade and light on it. It was a really light day, and there was obviously lots of branches and leaves and things. So just a sort of shade and light picture. But Goldcrests are always beautiful when you see them, and they're really feisty. And again, looking at legs and feet, look at those feet.
Yeah, I know.
Some chunky, weird pads. And I wondered if there was actually something kind of wrong with its feet, but I've looked at other Goldcrest pictures I've got, and I think they've got similar sort of, shapes on the feet. So I don't know if anyone can confirm that. Spent a day in Chelmsford doing a bit of very early Christmas browsing. Please don't have a go at me for doing that. It is nearly December, and just walking through the park there, and this just made me laugh. I think he's been employed by Chelmsford City Parks just to make sure that people don't fish. So he looked quite scary, and I put my rod away very quickly and carried on into town. And then, this is one of the birds you missed, Steve.
Oh, a funny duck.
Yes, a funny duck. So, not the best picture in the world, but Howard Vaughan on the 11th of November, he ventured into Essex. He saw a rather special gull, which I don't know if you've covered in your
I haven't actually.
sightings. Oh,
I
okay,
haven't
right.
yet.
So, on the same, I think it was Goldhanger. He had a Bonaparte's gull fly over his head at Goldhanger, which that's pretty good.
Yep.
And then he came up to Abberton and found this bird here in the middle, which basically looks kind of like a big pale pochard with a very long dark bill. It's not the greatest quality picture, but you can just about make out this long dark black bill. And this, well, what's this, Steve?
It's a canvasback.
Canvasback, yeah. So it's an American bird, I think, isn't it?
Yep, North American. Yep, North. Yeah. There's
And
a couple of North American species. There's canvasback and redhead.
Yep.
This canvasback has got this long, slopey bill.
And this has proved to be a very popular bird. I think there's been lots of people turning up to try and get a look at this, and it's still there at the moment. It's hanging around with a pochard flock if you're lucky, so it's quite mobile. But if you see it, as Steve said, you're looking for a paler bird, slightly bigger, as you can see here, and with this really long, dark bill, with a sort of fairly straight bill rather than a slight slope in on the pochard. So that was fun because I'd never seen one of them before.
No,
and then back to Ardley. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I was going to say there was one back in 1997 at Abberton.
Hmm.
I think Darrell Rhymes found off the top of my head, which I didn't manage to see that. But yeah, hopefully that'll be there tomorrow, Matt. So
fingers crossed. And then back at Ardley, the great white egret decided to land this time, so I thought I'd take another picture of it. And I think they're great birds.
Yeah, lovely.
I was just messing around with the camera with this one really because this was a really bright sunny day. So this mutes one was kind of really shining and glowing in the light. So I thought if I knock the exposure down a little bit with the logs behind, see what that looks like. And I was quite pleased with the way that came out. Looks okay. Good. And then I went to Abberton on the 19th of this month and was back there again a day or two ago with Jan Lewis. And there's 3 velvet scoter there at the moment that are hanging around between the Lodge Lane area and the Abberton Church area. I managed to get a picture of a couple of these. And that's, oh no, not quite it actually. So snow bunting, Holland Haven. There's a beautiful snow bunting that was around for a good few days. And you could get pretty close to it and get some really nice views. And again, a sunny day, managed to get a couple of nice pictures of the birds. Just hunkered down a little hollow here away out of the wind because it's a bit windy. But really pretty birds. Always nice to see a snow bunting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and like John's video, I mean, they're just great birds.
Yes. And then this was just a few days ago. I called this picture the Fab Four. And you couldn't really pose that, could you? You got the great white egret, cormorants, little egret, and grey heron. And I jumped out of the car, looked across the pool, and there they all stood there. So I thought I've got to take a picture of that. That's quite funny. And then finally, I don't know, is that playing?
Yeah.
That's just some video footage of the velvet scoter. There was only a couple of them when I took this, but the 3 birds are all still there. So
wow, that's cracking.
That was nice to see because I've only seen them once or twice before, so they're quite an unusual duck, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they do occasionally turn up at Abberton, but not in threes, you know.
And just so distinctive as well. You know, you've got that really sort of distinctive head marking with the double white dots. Really.
Double white dots, yeah.
Here we go. Right.
Stanley Davis said he was at Abberton on the 11th when the canvasback was found. He said there was 2 hours of craziness, and when they tried to re-find it, and he was happy as he was the first to find it again from Gwenside. So well done, Stanley. Well done.
Yeah, excellent. Well done. Yes. In fact, while you're talking, if anything else on the chat?
No.
Okay.
No, I think we're all sort of good.
I was going to say, I know that I'd seen a picture that Stanley posted somewhere. It might have been on a WhatsApp group, but he managed to get a capture of it. So yeah, well done. Excellent for refinding that. Right, where have you been, Steve?
Well, I've been halfway across the world. So yeah, I've just got back from India.
Okay.
When did I go? I don't know. I went on the 8th, I think it was, November. So yeah, 2-week tour. I've got to find out how to share a screen. My first time to India, to be honest. This was a tour that we organised back in 2017 to run in 2020, and then good old COVID came along, so we had to cancel it and rearrange it for 21, and then good old COVID's still there, and we finally done it, which is great news. So yeah, 2 weeks in Goa. So it's on the west coast of India, for those who don't know. And by crikey, it was hot.
Hmm.
It was like from leaving here at like 7 degrees to going to like 36.
Wow.
And it was very humid as well, like 90% humidity for a few days. But yeah, really good. I took something like 8,200 photographs,
Oh my goodness.
which I only just put them on, I only put them on the computer today. So I've only got a very small selection.
Oh,
Matt and I were chatting earlier, weren't we? I said I could show every picture.
yeah. We'll just leave them running until Christmas, shall we?
Yeah, exactly. You never need to watch a Christmas show. So yeah, so here's a few pictures. So hopefully you can see these.
Yes. Wow.
So this is a very smart bird. This is Asian paradise flycatcher. So this is they come in two color forms. There's this, which is the white one, and then they come in a sort of a normal morph, where the white is replaced with a sort of chestnut brown. But it's got these amazing long tail streamers. So that is really good bird. I mean, I've just literally chosen 15 birds out of.
Okay.
Of course, we saw something like 270 species of bird and about 70 odd species of butterfly. So lots to choose from. So yeah, this is a slightly so the part of India we went was really quite good for sort of some endemic species.
Mhm.
This is one of them. It used to be called Malabar parakeet, but now it's called blue-winged parrot. So you can see the blue in the wings.
Yeah.
Was coming in to feed on some figs. This is one of my favourites.
Hmm.
It's Ceylon frogmouth. So there's a pair here, and they're related to the nightjars.
Yeah.
And this was taken at a daytime roost.
They're kind of like a cross between a nightjar and an owl, aren't they?
They are. They're absolutely amazing. And this pair, I can't think which one's which. There's a male and female. I think it's the male on the right, female on the left. But they're just the most amazing birds. I mean, look at that bill. I mean, it's just.
Oh, they're really sweet. They're kind of really sweet and really grumpy at the same time.
They are. They're quite dumpy little things. So yeah. So I've seen frogmouths in Australia, which are a lot bigger than these, but these are like tiny little things.
And do they feed on insect on the wing, or just open the mouth and fly along? Yeah, like nightjar.
Yeah, they look just like nightjars. So they're nocturnal. But obviously they roost during the day. And this is was taken.
Fabulous.
Giant hornbill.
Goodness
So we've
gracious.
been chasing these around for quite a few days, and then on our last morning in Goa, we finally caught. This is a big bird. This is huge. This is the size of I don't know how you compare it with, a small eagle or something like that.
Oh goodness! Wow. Okay.
So this is a male. So that was really nice to see. Lots of birds. So this is a very common species of butterfly in Goa. This is called Jezebel, but it's absolutely stunning. It was out of the 70 species we saw, this was my absolute favourite. I just love the colours.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we saw from butterflies that were the size of, a 5p piece, to India's biggest butterfly, which is like 4 inches across. It was 5 inches across.
Are you sure that's not just a picture of marbled white and you've done a bit of photoshopping it this afternoon?
It looks like it, doesn't it? It does.
That's lovely. Oh, wow.
So yeah, so this is Jezebel. Malabar starling, another endemic to the area.
Oh.
So yeah, so it was just a nice one to see. Very much. It used to be called white-headed starling, but now it's been split to Malabar starling.
Look at the colours on that bill.
Really good. Yeah, it's almost like yellows going to greens to sort of bluey purple.
Yeah.
And then another Malabar. Everything's called Malabar to be out there.
Okay.
This is Malabar trogon. So this is a male. So these are sort of related to the pigeons. Quite a big bird.
Beautiful colours again. I mean, that deep red on the breast of the bird, and I think there's kind of like a bit of bluey mauve on the side of the bill, isn't there?
I know, and these are a forest bird, and they can blend into the forest so amazingly well, considering that the males are really bright. So yeah, we saw a few of these, which was really nice. Not just birds,
Oh,
bloody great crocodile. This is
I noticed you're taking that from this side of the riverbank.
oh, absolutely. Well, actually, we were on a boat actually this time.
Oh,
But,
okay, all right.
this is a marsh mugger.
Hmm.
This was about 2 meters long, 3 meters long.
Wow.
And look at those teeth. I mean, but
Yeah.
they don't attack humans, which is really good.
Thank goodness for that.
But yeah, we saw quite a lot of these we went on a boat trip. Out to see some sort of kingfishers and stuff, and I think we saw 9 species of kingfisher. But I think in fact, we saw all of Goa's kingfishers in the trip.
Can you zoom into his head? Can you zoom in a bit on the screen?
Yeah,
or not? I don't want to mess it up. There, that's it.
How does that
Oh, look at that. Look at those teeth.
Yeah. And the scales on them, I mean, they're just, and they live. I mean, this one's taken it's in mangrove swamp, so just by the edge of the river. But
you can really see that crocodiles have been around for kind of thousands and thousands and well, I think millions of years, isn't it? Crocodiles.
Absolutely, yeah.
A long time.
Do you know what, Matt? When they go into the water, they just slide in so quietly, and obviously they can go in quick as well. But it's just like a little ripple in the water, and they're gone. What else have we got? This is crested honey buzzard. I really didn't know what pictures to choose from, to be honest. So it's got a random selection.
We'll keep going. They're all brilliant.
This is a stalk-billed kingfisher. So this is like big. This is a big kingfisher. It's probably 5 or 6 times bigger than that, 10 times our size probably, with this massive great bill.
Good grief.
This was just taken on. This was again on our boat trip that we did.
So I presume this is going to be a really stupid question, but I presume the kingfishers have evolved different sizes to take different size fish.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what, this must take some big fish.
Look at the colour of his feet, his legs.
Yeah,
bright red.
Bright red. Bright. Yeah, the colours. And this was on a there's a massive motorway road bridge that goes over the river, and this was just on one of the sort of, if you can think like the Orwell Bridge in Ipswich, they've got those big concrete things that are in the water, and it was just on one of those.
Good grief.
So yeah, another one. This is Vigor's sunbird. So Beautiful. This is another endemic to the sort of Goa area. This is nice male.
Are they related to or closely grouped to hummingbirds or not really?
Yeah. So sunbirds and hummingbirds are all very similar. They obviously feed on nectar in these flowers.
Yep.
There's quite a lot of sunbirds, but this is one of the special ones that we saw.
Yep.
Really nice. This is white-bellied woodpecker. This is huge. This is, I mean, I don't know, this is twice the size of a green woodpecker.
Really?
Yeah. And when you hear it drumming, it sounds like a machine gun.
Good grief.
I mean, it's absolutely, and this thing flew in, and I think I might have swore actually, because it was just so big. So not a brilliant shot, but you get the idea. This is a male.
I love his punky hairstyle. He looks like remember the lead singer of the Prodigy, Keith Flint, was it?
Flint, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, got that kind of a hairstyle. Yeah.
And it's obviously got the red base to the bill, so it's a male, like our green woodpecker. So that's that one. This is orange minivet.
Okay.
Related to the chats, I think. But again, colours are amazing.
Incredible.
And then, of course, you couldn't go to India without seeing a Indian peafowl.
Hey.
And then last but not least, not the most prettiest bird on the list, but this is lesser adjutant. So it looks like a grumpy old man, like a grumpy old, but like slightly losing his hair.
Like a Victor Meldrew of the bird world almost.
Yeah. Look at that. It's got like a bit of hair here, bald. He looks bloody grumpy, to be honest.
In fact, do you remember the Muppets, the 2 Muppets at the end?
Yeah.
It looks like one of them almost, doesn't he?
Absolutely. So so lesser adjutant. Oh, and then last but not least, this is Asian green bee eater.
That is a stunning shot. That's a lovely picture.
But yeah, there was quite a few of them that were very confiding. So yeah, that's I think that's me done. That is. So,
well, there you go. So I do this quite regularly. If anyone wants to go and see those kind of birds with Steve in places like Goa, just go onto the Swallow Birding website. All of his holidays for the next year are on there, and all the local trips that he does as well. You can't probably hope to find some of those birds in Essex, of course, but he will find you birds in Essex that you will not find yourself if you go out on the same day to the same place, because your hearing and your eyesight and your knowledge is excellent. And I think if anyone ever goes out with you, they will come back and having learned something and had a great day as well. So Swallow Birding, please have a look. There we go.
But yeah, and Colin Andrew, who came with me, just said, he did say on the chat, I did swear.
I'm not going to ask which swear he used. Let's not do that. But
Might begin with yeah. Anyway, yes. And then
flipping heck, that's big.
And then Stanley says, "Does the Asian green bee eater sound similar to the European bee eater?" Yeah, it does. It's got that sort of quick call, but it's much sort of quieter.
Yep.
But interesting enough, we had blue bearded bee eaters, which is a big bee eater, which sound nothing like bee eaters. We had chestnut headed bee eater, blue tailed bee eater, and they all got that sort of quippy call.
Right. Yep.
So yeah.
Right. Should we do some pictures from other people quickly?
Yeah, let's do that because time's probably ticking.
Time is ticking once again. Right. Okay. So very quickly, Mo Jackson has sent this in this evening. So I've just prepped it. Hopefully it will work. There we go. So this is a red shank, common red shank that she's seen today somewhere. Hang on a minute. Mistley today. Sorry.
I recognise that stone.
Oh, okay. Well done. And it was ringed on the Orwell in 2021. And this sighting today is the first sighting. So that shows how quickly you can get the information back. Mo's seen this today. She's obviously reported it straight away, and the information's come back straight away. So there you go.
Wow.
That's good. Thanks for that, Mo. And other people have been sending stuff in as well. So if I can load up the folder that I had prepared before the show, which, hang on a minute. Let's find it again, because I closed that to load up that one. Right. Here we go. So I'm going to rattle through these. Got a few to rattle through. So I'm just going to do them all really quickly because time is ticking. We've still got a couple of things to talk about. So first up, we have Frankie Robertson, got pictures of kingfisher. We have kestrel hovering. These are all from Frankie Robertson. So thanks for sending these in, Frankie. We've got a couple of rooks in a field. We have a red kite and a magpie on the right-hand side there. Very nice. We have 4 female goldeneye, I think. Yep, look good. Oh, that's a short-eared owl. Very nice in flight. Yep, good. Always good to see. Lots of shorties at the moment, aren't there?
Yeah, it's a good autumn or good winter for them.
That's great white egret. So very, very good bird to see. And a couple of goosander, female type. And then these were taken in Portland. So we've got a gannet, adult gannet, and a great northern diver. So always good to see a great northern diver. Thanks for those, Frankie. Then moving on, we've got a photograph from Graham Mee. He said, hang on a minute, get rid of that. Can't help laughing at this juvenile magpie going through its first molt. Some of them do seem to suffer from a really drastic molt. And that is actually, that's quite funny.
And I thought, what is it?
That's an unfortunate molt, isn't it? Poor thing.
That is poor little thing.
Let's hope his hair grows back quickly. But there you go. Right, thanks for that, Graham. That made me chuckle. Also from Graham, we've got Two Tree Island Lagoon is well worth a high tide visit right now with fantastic numbers of ring plover, knot, and dunlin. So, and there's some avocets in there as well, and probably some lapwing up the top there, and oh goodness, there's loads of stuff in there. So get yourself down to Two Tree and go to the West End, and there's a lagoon and there's a viewing screen, and yeah, it's really good there, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, well worth a visit. Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
Thanks for Graham. Then we got these from Jan Lewis. This was taken at Hanningfield on the 22nd by the looks of it. And this is a black-necked grebe. Looks like it anyway. Yes. With the black around the colour here, and can't quite see the upturned bill there, but it looks like a black-necked grebe to me. That's what we think it is, black and white. This is an interesting picture. This is a short-eared owl. This is at Wallasey, also from Jan Lewis. It's a short-eared owl taken in the gloom, so obviously it's high ISO. But it's obviously seeing off this ringtail hen harrier.
Yeah, wow.
And it's literally got hold of its ringtail. So there you go. Not seen that before. This is a picture of a short-eared owl taken slightly earlier in the day when the lighting was rather better at Wallasey. So that's a lovely shot, Jan. Thank you. But my favourite picture that Jan sent in was, I haven't seen one of these for a couple of years. This is a male hen harrier, also seen at Wallasey on the 17th. So superb sighting and lovely picture. Thanks, Jan. Then we've got some late entries. So I mentioned this earlier on, late entry to the photo competition. These were sent in by Alex Gammon, so I thought we'd show them anyway. And that's a common redshank. We have a grey plover. You think I'd looked at these before. I don't know what's coming up next. I've just downloaded them and numbered them.
Fine.
We have a common snipe.
Nice.
That's very nice. Common snipe, nice long bill and a central stripe down the crown there. That's a lovely picture. Thanks, Alex. And also late entries from Fred Merrin, and I guess these were taken at Abberton Reservoir because that looks like the island. You've got a grey heron and they've got to be spoonbill on there, haven't they?
Yep, spoonbills, yep.
Oh, there you go. Right, close picture. Yeah, spoonbill, including a young one there as well.
Yeah,
All the young ones actually, because they bred there again this year, didn't they?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And a grey heron on the side. Oh, and another close up from Fred of two more young spoonbill. So young little teaspoons, as we call them. There you go. Then we've got Nick Lay. Now, Nick, actually, sorry, Fred I did print off his message. He said he photographed those pictures using a smartphone mounted on an adapter and a Swarovski ATS 25 by 50 zoom telescope. So it just shows you can get some images with your phone and an adapter, pop them on your scope and away you go. Right, Nick Lay, he sent in a picture of a stone chat, which is very nice.
Nice, awesome picture.
And a kestrel, very nice. And I'm not sure, this is Tilbury, I think, isn't it? East Tilbury, yes.
Tilbury, yep.
But of course, when you get a stone chat this time of year, it's always worth looking out for one of these. And this is Dartford Warbler. And he said he was on one of his local walks. He heard a sound like a sort of scratchy kind of sound. He's heard it before. He thought to himself, it can't be a Dartford Warbler, can it? And lo and behold, Dartford Warbler. So always good to find a Dartford, really good bird anywhere in Essex. Fantastic. Thank you, Nick. Then we got, this wasn't taken in Essex, was it, Steve?
No, I hope not.
If it was, I've missed out.
Yeah, me too.
This is sending my Pete Dwyer, our membership secretary, who's watching tonight. And this is a collection of white storks and some greater flamingos. And I think he's in Portugal, or taken in Portugal anyway. Don't know if he's still there. And then this one. So Steve's going to talk us through this.
Okay. So now I know what you're talking about now. Oh, so okay. So it's a wine box. It's a white wine. Yeah. So basically, it's Portuguese white wine with a greenfinch on it. Yeah.
So we all know what Pete gets up to when he's in Portugal. He's spotting birds in his local offie. There you go. I
don't know how many euros it was. Quite good value.
Oh yeah, is it 9.99? By the looks of it.
Okay, that's all right.
I'm quite interested now. Anyway, right. Okay, moving on. We've got Richard Chew, and this was Gloucester Park. So we've got grey heron, beautiful sharp shot there. Thanks, Richard. Beautiful coot on a lovely background. Look at that background. That's like a work of art. Male and female gadwall, also at Gloucester Park, and a lovely robin just about to break into song. Then from Richard, Gloucester Park again, a similar background for this time for a black-headed gull. And I like these shots with the water and the reflections. They always look really nice. Then he said this is probably one of his favourite photos he's ever taken of green woodpecker at Gloucester Park. Beautiful close detail there.
Beautiful. Nice.
Look at the colours. Yeah. And then on to Langdon, got a flyover sparrowhawk. Very nice. Lee Valley, the obligatory bittern.
Nice.
Yep, very good. Good views of bittern at Lee Valley if you get down there. Also at Lee Valley, another grey heron. Lovely sharp shot. And the rose-ringed parakeets, as they're now called, or ring-necked parakeets.
Do you know what? We saw those wild in India last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
brilliant.
Proper wild ones. Amazing.
Oh, fantastic. That's good. Another grey heron at Lee Valley as well, all from Richard. And finally, we can't have a series of pictures from Richard without a mammal. So we finish with a grey squirrel.
Oh, beautiful. The light is amazing on those pictures.
Yeah, beautiful. Really nice. So thank you, everyone, for sending those in. Hope I didn't miss anybody's pictures. And as always, really much appreciated. Right. What's next?
What have we done next? Do the sightings.
Yeah, let's do the sightings. Do you want to go first? Because I'm not ready.
That's fine. So
Uh,
I'll cover the usual South Essex.
Yep.
So on the Dengie coast, yesterday, Dave Lowe, who we had on as a special guest, found a juvenile red-breasted goose. So it's in an area of sort of no public access, although you can walk there, but it's a long walk along the seawall. But hopefully it might move within the coming weeks or somewhere a bit more accessible. But great find by him, so that was really good. As Matt showed Jan Lewis's pictures, Wallasey, yeah, hen harriers and short-eared owls still showing really well there at the moment. And East Tilbury, so as well as Nick's Dartford warbler, there was a windchat there on the 21st, so a couple of days ago, which is incredibly late date for windchat.
Definitely.
One was photographed there, which was a good record. Canvey Island earlier in the month had Leach's petrel, Sabine's gull, Pomerone skewer, and sooty shearwater. And there's been a few velvet scoters passed as well. Also in Southend, there was a hoopoo reported on the seafront on the 9th of November.
Okay.
Presuming that hasn't been seen again. What else have we got? Hanningfield has had a great northern diver on the 7th of November. And as well as the Bittons at Fisher's Green and the Rose Ring parakeets, it had a penduline tip.
Great.
Yep, on the 10th.
Huh.
So I'm sure that's still probably knocking around the Lee Valley somewhere.
Wow.
To be found. So yeah, slightly quieter month for me in the south. So how's your North Essex sightings coming on?
I will tell you in 1 second because I'm just dropping another quick picture into the equation. In fact, so what I'll do, hold on, let me just.
Sorry about that. I went too fast.
No, that's fine. So I'm going to load that in the background because we'll come back to it in a second. So I've got a couple of pictures just to accompany mine when I read them out. So here we go. Where's my zoom? There we go. Right. So starting off at Abberton, we had the canvasback found on the 11th by Howard Vaughan. As we mentioned before, this photograph is a far better photograph than any of the ones that I took. And this was taken by Paul Chamberlain. You can really see the size difference, the colour difference, and that massive long dark bill. So that's probably one of the best pictures I've seen of the bird. So well done, Paul. We've got the Nays. Glenn Moore on the 12th of November found one of these. Woohoo! A lovely waxwing and managed to get an action shot of it chucking a berry up in the air and just about to devour it. So let's look out for those. As we said earlier on, Gunners Park and Wivenhoe and hopefully all over Essex in the next month or so. It'd be very nice. On the 17th of November at the Nays, Brian Combs managed to locate this little chappie, or big chappie even, Black Brant. Nice. Beautiful, very dark bird, really white flanks, and really stands out when you compare to the dark-bellied Brent goose. So that was on the 17th November. Also, at the 17th November, as we mentioned, Darryl Rhymes found the 3 velvet scoters, and again, I pulled this shot off the EBWS website. Paul Chamberlain again, another really nice shot, showing these birds and markings and nice formation shot as well. That one, thank you. Also on the 17th of November, so that was a good day actually, Brian Combs down at the Nays, not only did he find the Black Brant, he also found this.
Nice.
He did admit it's not the greatest picture in the world ever, but this is a Pallas's warbler. And I think it was only there for a day. I don't think it was seen after the 17th, to my knowledge. So
very thin on the ground. Thin on the ground this autumn.
Yes. No, I mean, yeah. I think I've only ever seen one of these, actually, funny enough, at the Nays. So it'd be quite nice to connect with one. But they often don't stay around for that long, do they?
No, 1 or 2 days if you're lucky.
And then coming back to Abberton, we've had lesser yellowlegs were still around early November. There's been Scaup, Common Scoter, a couple of great northern divers, Buick swans. So this photograph of the Buick swans from Zane Sargent. We've got a photograph of the great northern diver, one of them, the winter plumage bird. That was a David Curl picture. There's been Slavonian grebe, there's been shag, short-eared owl, and hen harrier. Then at the Nays, we've also had 10 short-eared owls. Brian's had up to 10 short-eared owls at Stone Point. Snow bunting there, male hen harrier at the Nays as well, Dartford warbler, So picture of shorted owl here from Brian, one of the 10. Picture of the Dartford warbler at the Naze from Mike O'Hanlon. And there's also been purple sandpiper at the Naze. And we've had at Holland Haven, purple sandpipers. This is a picture from Brian Combs of one of the purps at Holland Haven. And obviously the snow bunting. That's a shot that I took when I went up there, just to show how close the bird was to, it was so confiding. Dogs were walking past, people walking past, just really didn't mind. It was in a world of its own, just feeding away. And you can see how close you can get here. So this is a shot taken by Mike O'Hanlon. And I think this is Mick Rodwell by the looks of it. So that's Mick, and there's the snow bunting. So it's quite close, isn't it, really?
Right, he took it with his mobile phone by the looks of it.
Exactly, yeah. And then finally, that's the photo I was looking for. They're slightly out of order, apologies, but this was today. And this was a willow warbler seen at the Naze today. Again, Brian Combs, he's doing some great work down there. I know Darryl Stiles covers the area as well, but Brian puts his sightings onto the Ebbs website and posts lots of photos. And just well done, and thank you for spending so much time there and finding so many good birds. And that's late for a willow warbler, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. Almost in December. It's crazy.
I mean, that looks like it's quite yellowy. It looks like a young bird, I reckon. Do you reckon?
Yeah, it could well be. Yeah,
difficult to tell, but yeah.
Yeah.
And that's me done, I think, apart from Frinton. So I'm going to run through very quickly. Let's stop sharing there. So at the 2-hour mark, and we said we wanted to keep it to 2 hours, so we're nearly done. Paul Brayshaw at Frinton, he said he's been out to the country for a couple of weeks in November. So he missed the bulk of the common scoter and starling passage in particular, but a brief summary of sightings from the 25th of October onwards. October ended fairly quiet, but finch passage continued with peaks of 711 goldfinch on the 25th and 287 siskin on the 31st. Offshore movement peaked on the 26th to 27th with over 6,500 brents, over 100 dunlin, plus a few late autumn species, including 51 pintail, 6 eider, 2 goosander, and 62 medgulls on the 27th. That'd have been a good day for you. Less typical was single common tern and cattle egret on this day. The stormy weather to the north resulted in a small influx of shags with a peak of 10 on the 31st, whilst a single Pomeranian skua was seen on the 30th. The total number of birds logged in October was a superb, you ready for this, 82,954 birds.
Really? Wow.
Paul's clicker finger. I'm going to check out the muscles of his thumbs. Yeah.
Competitive strain, mate.
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing, Paul. Then into November, the stormy weather at the start of the month produced some good numbers of gannets, 54 on the 4th, dunlin, 2,671 on the 1st, 102 kittiwake on the 4th, and little gull, there were 78 on the 2nd, 3 velvet scoter, I wonder if they're the ones that are Abberton, you never know, 2 purple sandpiper and a grey phalarope on the 1st, that's a good bird. Sooty shearwater, 8 arctic skuas, 2 pomeranians on the 2nd, 4 poms on the 4th. Vismig on the calmer days included loads of wood pigeons and a continuation of the finch movement, 409 goldfinch, 678 on the 6th, 505 red poll on the 6th, the undoubted highlight. And finally, some nice variety on the 22nd with single great northern and black-throated divers, and 143 red-throated divers, 45 gannet, 12 eider, a velvet scoter, and 164 common scoter. Also, he's had a group of 4 or more pilot whales on the 31st of October, that's good. And 6 or more common dolphin on the 1st of November were particularly noticeable. So once again, Paul, thank you so much for the work you do over there. All the records that you submit and put in, it's all such good data. And it just gives everyone an idea of what's flying past the coast at Frinton while I'm stuck at work in Ipswich. So appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. Have we got anything on the chats?
So a quick look. Take your time. Yeah, it's mainly about Portuguese wine, to be honest.
Well, people drinking it? Is that the stage we've got? 2 hours in, everyone's on the wine?
Well, yeah, Pete says his wife drinks white, but he prefers the red. Richard Shue
Okay.
said the red's very good. Stanley Davis said that he had a further woodlark calling at the Naze.
Oh, nice.
And apart from that, I think
They've got kind of a Lulu sort of call, haven't they, when they fly over, I think?
Yeah. And that's it, I think.
Excellent. Well, so next month we're going to be back with Wines of Essex.
Exactly.
Right. Brilliant. Well, I think, have we done? We're pretty much at the end, aren't we?
So yeah, so we're going to say usual stuff. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, EBWS Tweets or at Essex Bird News.
Yep.
We've got a new Instagram account.
We have.
You're Instagram minded.
I think it's Essex Birdwatching Society. If you want to keep up with the sightings, rather than waiting for me and Steve to read them out a month late in high speed, you can either check the EBWS website out, or you can join the Essex Birders at groups.io. And if you join this, you will get an email every day telling you what's been seen when people report it. So on a serious note, please don't forget to submit your sightings to the Essex Birdwatching Society website. The data is used. It's not just for us to talk about. It is used by anyone that's looking to develop land or for ecological surveys. The bird records that you submit are very, very important. And it's also used, of course, for the report itself, which, again, is the very important work that's used for those sort of purposes. So please send your sightings in, send your pictures in, send us information as well. We've got Twitter and Facebook and so forth, haven't we? I don't know if did you say that?
Yeah. And thanks to all those people who've subscribed to the channel tonight and given us the old thumbs up and all that malarkey. And
hugely appreciated.
Chris Mee says, great show, thank you. Sarah Henson Webb, thanks for another great show, fellas. Hope you're both well. Are you all right, Matt?
Not too bad, I think so. A bit tired, but yeah, fine.
Looking forward to bed in a minute, I'll tell you that. Richard,
I'm looking forward to Haybridge and the Ironworks Meadows on Sunday.
Yay! Richard Chu says, thanks, guys, excellent show. Will there be another one before Christmas?
Watch this space.
Watch this space, but yeah. Graham Mee, great show. Thanks, lads. Thanks, Graham, for watching. Sean McQueen, great show. Thanks. Brilliant. Oh, crikey, what else we got? Stanley Davis, thanks for the show, Matt and Steve. With the amount I'm birding, I'm surprised you haven't seen. Yeah, he says, the amount I'm birding, I'm surprised I haven't met either of you yet.
Well.
No, I don't. I often see lots of people, but I don't know their names. So,
but no,
hopefully.
Well, I was saying this the other day because I don't know how old Stanley is. I think he's a younger birder. I think.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I believe so.
But no, not bumped into him yet. So I'm sure one day our paths will cross. Come to Haybridge on Sunday if you can.
Well, I think he was in Wales. I think so. Maybe, yeah.
That's not far to travel.
No, exactly.
He sets off now. We can walk it in a couple of days. That's fine.
So no, hopefully we'll meet up with you, Stanley, sometime sooner rather than later. Pete says he's got no wine tonight as he's watching us.
Oh, okay.
Most people have to drink to watch us.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Or most people have to drink to go to sleep, but he can just watch us.
And then Bo Jackson, thanks everyone. Keep on birding. Frankie says thanks for the stream. Hopefully you can attend some walks. Be great to see you. Tony Pickes, thanks Matt and Steve. And Pete Dwyer's met Stanley, apparently.
Okay.
And Stanley is 17.
Excellent. Right, well, hopefully
he hasn't got a walk, he can drive now.
He can drive, yeah. Get a car, get over to Haybridge on Sunday. No excuse. We know you're 17 now. That's it. Right, okay. Shall we say goodbye and play out with the photo competition entries?
I think we ought to, mate. Yeah, save the best till last.
Okay. Now, I'm going to, in advance, I did this video. I was tracking the results, and there seemed to be a definite result this morning before I went to work. So I kind of put the last bit of the video together this morning, and I can't remember if it's changed between this morning and now. So if the positions at the end are wrong, I apologize. I don't know if I even did positions. In fact, I don't really know what I'm doing, to be fair. So I haven't got a clue. Let's just play the video and see what happens. But we're going to say goodbye. Thank you all for watching so much. We will be back before Christmas. We might have drunk some wine or maybe something stronger. I don't know. But yes, goodbye.
You get Christmas jumpers out then, if that's the case.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to dust mine off. I'll have to wash it.
Yeah, I've washed mine since last year. So anyway,
I'll get my mum to darn the holes. There you go.
And Stanley's just said he hasn't passed his driving test yet. So
well, you got a day.
You better get walking then, mate.
One day. You got one day to pass your test and buy a car and get to Haybridge. Right. Okay. Should we play this video?
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thanks very much.
See you all soon. See you next month.
Okay. So just to clarify, this is a video with all the 82 entries from the recent autumn bird photography competition. Thank you very much for everyone that entered, and congratulations again to everyone that got through to the voting stages and all the finalists and the winners. Thanks very much.